Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my wrap-up video for the coloring pages that I did in the month of April. And April was a month for me that I wanted to dedicate to uncolored books. So that could be new ones that I just recently got, or some others that were paying a visit to my shelves and stayed there without me looking at them. So it will be a mix of a bit of this and that, I think. And I'll dive straight in with the Steampunk special. This is a magazine that came out not too long ago, I think the beginning of this year, I'm not sure. And I have the Steampunk Darlings book by Hannah Lynn, but I wanted to color one of the 50 new unique images that were in here. So, and Hannah Lynn is always fun to color in, so I decided to do this lady. Oops. And I've used a bunch of materials. First off, I started with a Brusho powder background, but as the paper is quite thin, it went a bit wrong. So the blue that you are seeing is dissolved Brusho powder, and the rest is, I believe, Neocolors too, if I'm not mistaken. My memory isn't the best anymore these days, I'm sorry. I have my journal beside me, but it's so annoying that I have to take a look for every picture to see what I've used. But some things are done with marker, like her skin, the base of her skin, the base of her dress also, I think, her boots. And the shading in was done with some cheap budget pencils, also for her face. The hair is Inktense, the clouds are Inktense, the socks and the gloves also. I know this because I've looked quite quickly before I started to film what materials that I've used. This is Duran Graphitint. This is watercolor paint. I'm not sure what this is, just pencil over a light marker, I think, or Inktense. Not sure. And does she has some glitter on her? Yes, she has a bit of glitter in her hair here and on some of the materials here on the border of her dress. I have my lamp here. I'm going to take a look if it's a bit more visible. Now you can see the shimmer on her, on the border of her dress a bit more, and in her hair also. I really like those shiny details. So it was a lot of fun to work on, and I've only used one color from the Inktense pencils and shaded it a little bit here and there, but not too much. And I'm really happy with how this page turned out. So that was the kickoff for April. I'm going to take my sneak peek book and lay it over here. Then it was time for a Fabiana Attanasio book, The Beauty and the Beast, the Italian version. I had this for quite a while, I think from 2018, somewhere in the summer, September, October, I'm not sure anymore, but it was paying my shelves a visit for a few months now, and I decided to do the first page, and that was this one. As you can see, I've used gold paints. It was the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry set, and I'm going to try and zoom in. It's not easy with only one hand. Okay, and I've used all the shades of the gold that was in this palette. So, because I don't like these borders at all, but with paint it was a lot of fun to do. And for the background, I've used the gem colors from Kuretake, but the mauve one gave me some trouble, and that's why I've added some iridescent medium to give it a bit of a texture. The blue worked a lot better, and I wanted to do opposite colors because his jacket was purple. I wanted to do purple here, and her clothing was blue, so I wanted a blue background. The pencils that I've used here, I'm not sure anymore, but I did her hair with some cheap budget ones again, and he's only Derwent Inktense, no extra shading, so I was quite happy with how he turned out with my Inktense pencils only. And do I have, yes, I have a bit of glitter. I hope you don't mind that I use a lamp. Here we go again at the disco. I hope you don't mind that I take a lamp to show all the glitter, but it's so nice to see. Look at the gel pen. It's a dual hybrid, I think, or the Pentel Sparkle Pop. I'm not sure because the colors are quite similar. But that gold is so beautiful to look at. And now you can see that iridescent medium also a bit better in the background of both. So very lovely portrait of the two. And the paper can take watercolor. It is a bit crumbled, but I don't mind. I love using watercolors in these books. I got a stain. I don't know where I got it from, but there's nothing on the back side. So that was Beauty and the Beast. Then last year I bought the two books by, I don't know the name of the artist that drew these, but I think it's My Colorful Town and My Colourful Room, something like that. There's also an English edition, but I heard that the paper quality was less good than in this one. I think it's Korean. I've ordered the two books on eBay, and My Colorful Town is quite intimidating, so I thought I would start with My Colorful Room. And I did this page, a science girl, and I've really enjoyed this picture. For the background, I've used Neocolors too. My gesso adventure started with this page, I think. I've blanked the black lines out around this glass bowl where this flower was in. Also here on the earth, also on the butterflies, the main focus had to be her. So, and I've really enjoyed this one. I know that I've used my Derwent, Color Softs for her hair. I really like that combination. Oops, I'm out of focus. And I think for the rest, I think Prismacolors. And here I followed a tip of Citizen, where she showed in one of her videos that she uses tea to make old stains on her coloring pages, and I've used coffee for an old look on this book full of plants. That was really lovely to do, and I really like how this is turning out, and I've used quite a lot of shimmery details. So here I go again with my lamp, and also gold is used, some Spectrum Noir clear glitter, so to see, in these trains, and the butterflies also have some detail in the flask that she's holding. There are some stickles, I think, and I think the butterflies also have some shimmery details. So yeah, no page without shimmer over here. So yeah, really had a lot of fun with this, but I did get quite some bleed through, so I'm not sure how what I will do in the future. I know I did quite a lot of water here, but maybe I have to stick to only pencils for future pages. But this was not that interesting to color in, and yeah, it's not too bad. But I don't think I will ever color these small houses. So, but I believe it's my Colourful Room or something like that, and I don't know how the artist is called anymore, but they're quite well known. And then I started the Terry Pratchett's Discworld coloring book, but I've given up. I really like the artwork in this book, but my page, I got bored, and I've used brush powders, but since it's an ugly background, it wasn't a big of a problem. But I don't have that much to do, but no, I'm not feeling it anymore, and no, don't like the color combo that I've given this guy. I like her and I like him. Don't like him. She's meh. I did like my plate here. I have used my Kuretake paint. I love the red in that set, and the letters were dripping, so I like that, but not sure if I will ever finish that one. If not a pity. Maybe I had to start on my guy for which I've bought this book. Maybe he had been successful, but yeah, I wasn't feeling him at the moment, so I thought I would have a lot of fun with this set of people, but nope, no fun. The next one is for the people who follow my channel quite familiar, the Gothic Fairies by Mika Jelena. I've shown in this book how I color a dark skin. And yeah, the only thing I had to color in after the video series was finished was the little birdie. And he stayed quite normal, only a bit of pinks and browns. I thought it suited her wings. And yeah, you've seen how she was finished in the series, but I added some extra glitter on that stone that she's holding. I've added some stickles, and I hope it will be a bit visible. Yes, it's a bit visible. A real diamond. And then of course she has some glitter gel pen and other shimmery stuff. Her wings are Iridescent Medium by Winsor & Newton. I've used gold paint stickles in her hair. Albrecht Dürer for the sunset background. I was very pleased. So her skin is pencil only, and her hair was pink paint with pencil on top. The rest is marker. You can see it at the back. So that was this one. Then I did a side track. I started coloring in a page in March because a friend of mine wanted to do a body color, and we decided to do the little duck page. And whilst I was watching someone's book haul, I think, I'm not sure anymore which video or from who the video made, but anyway, suddenly I wanted to finish the page with a duck. My friend is working on some other pages, so her duck isn't finished yet. But yeah, I really wanted to give this little guy a face, and this is how he turned out. The gesso story again. I've gessoed the flowers because I wanted to use some paint, and I've written it down over here. I've used Albrecht Dürer. Yes, for the ducky. He's only Albrecht Dürer, no extra shading. I was very proud of how he turned out with the highlights. The light isn't cooperative, but he has some different shades of brown. It's almost the best if I hold my book like this. Prismacolor for my little guy, and I don't like the Prismacolors in this book. I think I will have to use some other pencils, but Prismacolor is a bit doubtful for me. Stickles Kuretake. Where did I use Kuretake? I'm not sure anymore. No, don't know where I've... Oh yes, the raindrops here, or the dewdrops are Kuretake. And I've used some stickles, some glitter gel pen, some copper acrylic paint. I hope it's visible. So here's the key. And he has some dual hybrid on his necklace, the little ducky. Yeah, so it's looking quite black or dark, and if you shake the page, it's pink. Some stickles on the chair. That's a copper acrylic paint, the chair. And then some dewdrops in Kuretake. But I'm wondering which color that I did use on the flowers. It must have been some Indian red or something like that. So very happy with how this turned out. I love the watery look of the flowers, that it's looking a bit rough. So that was the only non-untouched book, because I already did a page in here, the sea lady here. But I really wanted to work in this one, so I did. And then I started my mission again with untouched books. This is not a coloring book. I've got this in for review by the publisher. And because of the artwork that is in it, it can perfectly be used as a coloring book. So you have different kinds of pictures. I did a flip through of and a little discussion about this book. And I've done these two ladies. I had a lot of fun with these ones. I used my Sonnet watercolor paint for the background, and I just dabbled around. Didn't use any gesso. I just was playing wild, and I think, yeah, I've used Albrecht Dürer. Oh, I did use my Kuretake paint. I thought I've used my Sonnet. Oh no, okay, Kuretake paint. See, my memory is not the best. So it was Kuretake paint. Albrecht Dürer for the hair. And then this lady has a Derwent Color Soft skin, and this one has a polychromo skin. I really wanted to try out two different brands of pencils, and they both worked great. The Albrecht Dürer worked great. This is watercolor paint. They also have shimmer on them. And around, I've used some iridescent paint, a cheap version of my discount shop, and iridescent medium on the horns of the left lady. It was really fun to do, and I felt very creative by playing around with the background. And I think that's Jane's mission for us all, to play and to experience how nice it is to throw on a page with every medium that you like. So that was this one. The next one is also a review book that I've received from Selena herself, her newest coloring book based on fairy tales. and I really love this one. And this was again a gesso adventure. I was so super happy with how my greenery turned out. I just dabbled around with watercolors, and then I've used Derwent graphite tint for the stonework, and I was blown away by the effect that the gesso gave me and the graphite tint pencils. They looked like real stones to me, and I was really impressed. There's a little video series on the channel if you want to take a look how to do it. I've demonstrated it not in this book but in the Terry Pratchett one where I did the floor. And this was done in Albrecht Dürer pencils. Her skin is polychromos, her hair is Dürer pencils. The roses are Neo colors too, with Derwent Colorsoft on top. And I don't remember what I've used for the wheel here. I think polychromos, I'm not sure anymore. But I remember the rest because this was not too long ago, but the small details I don't remember anymore. So really happy with how she turned out. And then I was inspired by KP Colors and Coloring F to try out and color some food. And since this book was not that long in my possession, I thought, okay, let's tackle this one immediately. And I found a page with some fruits, so that's food too. And I did this one. Learned a lot, but whoa, it was quite difficult. But I really like how this pomegranate is looking. It looks so juicy. At least for me it does. This is a blood orange. The kiwi, I've used gesso on here because it had an ugly pattern for my taste, so I wanted to do that away to make it look like a real kiwi. I've used the gesso also on the wings of the little bees to make them lighter. On the butterflies also. I think I've used my Sonnet watercolors on these butterflies, and it is kind of a violet color, but because of the gesso it became almost fluorescent. But I really like the outcome of those. And I'm going to grab my thing again because I've used quite some shimmery paints and gold paints to make details and stickles. And the little bees have shimmery wings. So overall it was an adventure. I think for the first time coloring food I did quite okay. But yeah, still have a lot to learn yet. But I've learned, thanks to this blood orange, I've learned very much. I was working in strokes a lot for this one, and yeah, it gave me a result that I liked. So yeah, I think for the first time it was not too bad. Then I've tackled one of my Chinese coloring books that was a while on the market already, but I just bought it quite recently. And yeah, I had to tackle that one also. And I did do a little movie in which I was coloring in this lady's hair with the Pablo pencils. Don't be fooled, all the rest isn't Pablo. These spaces are so big, I can't work with pencils only if I have to do such a big page. So I've used Inktense for her outfit and Kuretake starry colors for this veil. Gessoed the stonework again, did 3 colors of Derwent graphite tint pencils. Was a bit too much, a bit too dark, so not that excited about, but yeah, I did use some watercolor paints on this part, and you can see the shimmer already. I've used stickles on her outfit, on her hair here. This was also watercolor paint, and for the snow, Kuretake pearl, starry color, the lightest version of the gold. So I'm not going to use my lamp. It's quite visible how shimmery it all is. And the background was also Inktense, some small details colored in and moved around with a pencil, with a water brush, I mean. So yeah, lovely how she turned out, but it was quite of a job. So after that one, I wanted to do something simple, and this book was quite new, and it spoke to me when I did a flip through. I really like these drawings, so I did a fairy standing or hiding for the rain. Used gesso again for her wings. For the rain that has fallen down, the lines were quite harsh and I didn't want that. I've gessoed to the bottom to make the ground look a bit rough. And I did use some markers for the plants. Now this girl is all done in Pablo pencils. I really like how her hair is looking. So this is a base layer of marker. It was quite a dark color for my liking. It looks quite light, but after coloring it in, it was quite dark. And I went over the marker with my Marco Renoir pencils because I didn't want to do that with the Pablos. I've ruined the flowers, but I tried to save them as best as I could. Watercolor paint for the bottom. And this really, if you don't have an Instagram account and haven't seen this effect, I'm going to take the book down. And I hope it will be visible. The rain is falling. She has a bit of rain on her hair and her shoulder because she was running before she could stand a bit under these flowers. And also her feet are wet, of course, because yeah, all of the puddles that she had to go through. And yeah, I really like that effect. It was a very playful page. And her wings are a bit special looking, quite pale. Looking at them like this, and if you move the page, it becomes light blue. So that was this one. And then we are at the last book, and that's again a Coloring Heaven edition, the Nouveau Fantasy by Herb Leonard. And I wanted to use my Colorsoft pencils again. And I started this cute page. But oh boy, Colorsoft and this paper, it didn't work out that good for me. It was hard work to make him look like this. So I decided to do his belly and the little details on his head and the wings with my Pablo pencils. The guy that's taking care of his teeth is also Pablo. The castle is gesso with Derwent Graphitint on top, of course, to make the stones look quite real. And the border is some cheap acrylic, gold paint and silver paint. Now I have to lift up so you can see the gold and the silver quite good. Has some tiny little details of stickles, but not too much. His tongue is a bit wet, so that was a little detail. And he has some special nails. I don't know what I've used there, Aurora paint, but I don't know where. So yeah, it was a fun picture. I really thought it was super cute, but oh boy, I really was tired after doing his main skin. I've used 3 colors of Coloursoft, and yeah, I don't know, I don't think they were quite good friends with this paper, or maybe I've used them in the wrong way on this paper. That's also possible. But yeah, the Pablos were much easier to work on this page than the Colorsofts were. So, and that was it. Those were all my colored pages for the month of April. So I've tackled 11 new books. No, 10. Terry Pratchett is a whip still, and the Klara Markova was an already touched book. So 10 from the 55 new ones, not counting the ones that I received as a gift from Sienna, and the ones, did I buy some new ones? I did a whole video, but I'm not sure which were contained. Oh yes, I think the last one of Fabiana Attanasio, which one was it? The Jungle Book. No, I had more than 55 books. Maybe 60, 62. So minus 10 is again 50 type of stack that I still have to color. But in May, I'm coloring what I want. I did in March the pictures that scared me. In April, the untouched books. And in May, I'm doing whatever I want. Point. So, and I'm doing that. I'm working on a cute fairies picture at the moment, but I received some review products from 2 different companies. And for the cute fairies picture, I'm already using one brand. But anyway, it's a picture that I really wanted to color in, and if I have to, I didn't have to test the products on that page immediately, but I thought, why not? And I think it's quite a good combo, so I'm fairly pleased up until now. So yeah, and all the rest of May, I can grab any book I want. If I want to color a new one, that's fine. If I want to color a coloring book that already has quite a lot colored in pages, that's fine too. Everything is possible. I've had enough challenges for myself, and that's my problem always. If I set a goal for myself, then I really have some trouble to step out of that challenge, or to I was shocked that I could do the Klara Markova page, because if it had been another day, I would have had trouble with my own mind, but on that specific day it worked for me, so I thought I'd just jump and do it. But yeah, it depends on the day and how I am feeling and thinking. But yeah, I'm glad that I've colored in so many untouched books, so they weren't bought for no reason. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've liked this video, and I hope to see you next month for a new finished pages video. And hopefully I will have done a lot of lovely pictures without too many unfinished whips. I'll try to make good coloring decisions so that I don't get bored and abandon those. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, happy coloring, and see you on the next video. Bye!